And when I ask them, what are you doing for sound in your commercials? They say, hey man, we either license top 10 music or we go royalty free. Cheap ass. And what they've forgotten about is brand sound because of this thing. Who has something like this, an Alexa or Google Home? Who has both? Do you have both, an Alexa and Google Home, may I ask? Oh, sorry, you're using an Apple.
I had.
You had? And what happened?
I had to make my pick.
And?
Which one would set up better with my own system.
And what one?
I chose Echo.
You Echo. Okay, so Alexa, you went Echo versus Google. Okay, cool. Check this out. Brand sound. So if you are thinking about more ephemeral experiences, you might have to think about your brand sound. If we're talking to devices like this young lady is, you better get your shit together on brand sound. Now let me explain that to you. If you think about the way that we're in this visual-based culture today, brand sound is another way of thinking about connecting with people, particularly if we're talking to this device. However, the challenge today is if a 70-year-old man speaks to an Alexa or Google Home versus a 5-year-old girl, it has the same voice. But what will happen with these devices to create deeper empathy, it'll be genre-based. So the child will choose maybe a Disney character versus whatever the old man wants. But whose brand is this? Check this out. Intel. Took you 3 seconds to tell me that's Intel. So when you're thinking about all of these experiences you're trying to develop for the brand you represent, think about brand sound as another way to capable to hold somebody's attention in this world that we're part of. Right. This is perhaps where sound is headed. This is a direct language translation device called Mars. So as you wear a headset, I wear a headset, it will directly translate your native language into English for me. The only challenge with this is, it uses Google Translate, so it only works about 50% of the time. And secondly, men and women don't face each other at a bar like that anymore, so this shit's never going to work for dating. So here's where it's interesting. As I said to you guys, I haven't had a TV in 20 years, yeah? But here's what's fascinating for me. Now is a great time to buy them. Why? They're so gorgeous. Look at that bloody TV from Samsung, or that thing. The frame. Beautiful. Looks like art when you're not watching your Hulu and Netflix bullshit. And what's amazing for me is that finally, televisions look amazing on the back as they do the front. But the thing we really need to understand, guys, is don't ever look behind the curtain stuff because technology always still looks like that. But here's where it's interesting. Then we have virtual reality. Virtual reality was kind of 2017, don't you agree? Who here has tried on VR? Who has tried it on? That are not enough hands. Who owns a pair of VR goggles today of some kind? Who owns some? Can I ask, brother with the cap on, when was the last time you wore them? About 3 weeks. And what are they? What brand are they? Who will cardboard you, cheap ass? Because you still need an $800 smartphone to make that shit work. When it was on your face 3 weeks ago, how long was it on your face for? 15 minutes? You are not normal. So here's what happens. Normally, I speak to people like, who's tried VR? 100% of the hands go up. Who owns them? Boom. Nobody. Or cheap asses who give it to me free. And they said, I tried it on 6 months ago. How long was it on your face for? 2 minutes before it made me feel wobbly. But virtual reality is an incredible experience. Why? Because it helps bridge a deeper type of empathy that we've never seen before. But we want it to grow organically. Otherwise, we'll end up in the 3D TV space. Do you have a 3D TV, dude? No? Okay, amen. We're good. We're friends. But here's what's amazing for me. If you think about the virtual beauty, here's what's fascinating. When you do try those things on, you do not give a shit who's around you. You know it's an amazing experience. By the way, VR has been around 20 years. It's not new. But here's what is fascinating. I love it when brands are ambitious enough to say, we're not trying to do stunts with VR, we're trying to grow it organically. Look what Nintendo did for kids. This is Labo Project. It enables kids to build the product like a jetpack before you throw them into virtual reality. So they're doing things in analog, which we need kids to do. We need them to move. This is an amazing experience. If you don't think that AR is a thing, you need to go to places like China. So in China, they've developed this amazing product that enables kids' virtual world and the physical world to come together in a seamless experience. It's not smartphone driven. It's designed with products like this. But if you do want to know what I think about it, I think reality is even cooler. Check this out.
This is the Jaguar F-Type simulator. It's just sitting on a 6-axis hydraulic platform here. Roll you around, lift up, down. Once you're wearing this helmet, it's really going to simulate exactly what it's going to be like on the track.
Very cool.
Make sure you brace yourself. Good luck.
Caitlin, I'm about to start the ride.
Welcome to Jaguar Virtual Simulator. Are you ready to experience the power of Jaguar F-Type?
Shit yourself. But here's what's amazing. Just understand, I don't think this is the human you're trying to target. This is not the guy you're looking for, man. We're looking to be far calmer than that. Because the so what you're just thinking, like, you just showed me a ton of technology, Shingy. How does it apply? It applies because, look, you started with, sorry, I know nobody likes Kevin anymore, over there. You started out with cinema, you went to TV, you went to smartphones, and then you're told maybe you're going to have to market on something that's square, rectangular, triangular, circular, etc. If the world moves that way, creativity is going to be reborn in a totally different, radical way today because we can't phone it in anymore, literally. And here's where we head, man. Please, God, do not speak in the 4 Ps. This was invented in 1948. I think this is totally outdated. I think it's been updated to this. It's a reflection of our business culture, not a reflection of the way that people consume today. You are in the business of sight, sound, and motion. To do what? Create emotion. Why? 75% of purchase decisions are made emotionally. You sell to the heart, you justify to the head. That's the business. It used to be big ads, remember? Little content. And now it's just all content, little ads. So what do brands do? They try and hijack the internet because of ad blocking, with crappy memes. They've forgotten about the long road. And we need to get back to that. We need to understand it's not just about targeting every single person with a deep, intimate relationship because the machines are coming to take your job. No, they're not. The machines are here to tell you what to do, not how to do it. That's the job of a creative. This is an old slide. I put this back in this morning. I think this is really relevant to today more than ever before. Particularly for my friends from Twitter just a minute ago. How good's that? I'm telling you, man, when we get to the Golden Gates, we are in trouble. But here's the reality. In 2014, I said that friends are what's going to happen is that people are going to defriend and unfollow. And people thought I was crazy. Here's why I believe that. Today, the open social web is closing itself down. So you've been able to buy on the open social web for the last 10 years. It's not how it's going to happen moving forward. Here's why. Let me prove it. Who's on Instagram in here? Instagram? Okay, whose Instagram is set to private? Who's set to private in here? Okay, wow. All right. So here's what here's what normally happens. So it was probably 80% of the people that put their hands up. Some of you are totally bullshitting me, by the way. I love that. But here's what's amazing. If I speak to high school kids and ask them who's on Instagram, WhatsApp, WeChat, Line, 100% of them will put their hands up. If I ask them who's set to private, 100% of them will tell me it's private because the public stuff is to appease their parents. The internet is closing itself down. But you have to understand that when you go from a conversational brand, and smart brands are conversational today, you can move that relationship into commerce. So let me show you that. I know you guys are probably all WhatsApp, given where we are. But if we go to China, my people, we end up hanging out in WeChat. And in WeChat, this is an example of Dior. This bag was only released in Dior, only available in WeChat. Sold out in 24 hours. And the price of that? $2,200. So you can have amazing relationships that can convert into commerce from conversational brands. So how can you be the calm in the chaos? Well, the world is overwhelming. Understand that you're hit with 1,900 media messages per day. 1,900 in my own goddamn presentation. And then it's underwhelming because you can't find what you're looking for. And if you think about it, one of the largest contributors to stress today is media overload. So the shit you're producing on behalf of the brand you work for is stressing people out and killing them. Just kidding. People are spending less time on the apps, they're spending more time on the ones they care about. So how do we move this world from awareness-based advertising to advocacy? How do we go to a place that's word of mouth? We need to because they are the power users of your brand. But they're looking for entertainment, number one. They're also looking to not be bored. Now if you think about it, I grew up in a generation when the sun came up, my parents would kick me outside and say, don't come into the sun goes down. But today, kids are bored, so they want to be entertained. And when most people are trying to target youth, they're saying the older audiences are going away. That's not true. Those audiences are still growing and have lots of money. Both of them are very important to you. One's loyal and one's all potential. So speak to them differently. They agree on one thing. They love premium experiences brought to them by VIPs, not necessarily celebrities. And that's important for you guys to know. It's a distinction. which is when you create intimacy in a closed, interconnected network, that's where you build trust. And good brands have a point of view about that. You cannot sit in the middle. If you're a brand that says, oh, we'll just wait and see what happens politically, socially, economically, spiritually, you'll be left behind. You know that. Brands that sit in the middle get left behind. You need a POV. If you're an iconic brand, you can do this. You can do riding signs without even logos. If you're an iconic brand, you can do this. Lacoste changed their iconic crocodile to a limited edition series of endangered species, limited to the endangered species. So some of those t-shirts had 20, some of them had 1,000, and the problem with that is, it sold out in 24 hours. You can only buy those t-shirts on the black market, just like the species. But here's what's amazing. Look at what happened in Vietnam. Coca-Cola changed each bottle top to be useful. So instead of it being trash, you've now got pencil sharpeners and bubble blowers. In UK, KFC ran out of chicken, so they said, screw it, we're just going to embrace this, man, we screwed up. And the beautiful thing about it, it creates something like this. To be a point of view. You have permission to give people the velocity to share stuff. And that's important in this business that's driven in sight, sound and motion to create emotion. Remember, to go to a beautiful, trusted environment in a world that's very anxious today, we have to understand it's not just about storytelling. That's the most abused word in our industry. Or actually, story yelling. We need to move away from that and just tell good stories. Build great content, put it in smart places. Easy to say, hard to do, but you could end up with something rich like this.
One day I'll fly away, leave all this to yesterday. What more can your love do for me? When will love be through with me? I live life from dream to dream and dread the day when dreaming.
Bueno.
Brothers and sisters, that is the Christmas story as told by one of the largest retailers in the UK, John Lewis. They're trying to move as much product as humanly possible to the shelves at Christmas time, but what are they doing? They're showcasing no products and selling to the heart to justify to the head. If you are open to the power of the internet, you can also end up with something as crazy as this. You know, it'd be funny if it wasn't true. And you can also end up with something as impressive as this.
Ay, madre.
So It doesn't matter whether you do something emotional that's 4 minutes long, or you allow your brand to be spoofed or hacked, or people just generate content based on the inspiration you create. We're in a world where mind share equals market share, and that's absolutely critical today when you think about how you connect with humans. And brothers and sisters, the real reason why I'm here is this amazing quote by Catherine Hepburn. It's my all-time favourite. If you obey all the rules, you miss all the goddamn fun. Isn't that the reason we became creatives? Thank you very much indeed. Cheers.
He's getting back onto the plane to New York in about 10 minutes, so someone must have a question here for him.
The question I normally get is, I'm sorry, what? Anybody have any question? We good?